Alright, community strength back again for what I think is actually a last workout, unless we have it again next week. Which is kind of sad to say, but I mean, all things must come to an end, and I've had a great experience doing this. And with that, I'll show you the 2 new exercises for this week, which is going to be power lunges. So, this is going to be on 2 sides, so we're going to switch halfway through. You're going to pick that knee up, do a high knee in the front, and stick it back, go down, do that lunge, and come right back up and do it again. We're going to continue to do that, then we're going to switch. Same thing on the other side. Alright, and then our other one will be a bottom movement here, or a ground movement here. Plank step out. You're going to hold a high plank position, and you're going to step one foot out, step the other foot out, and then bring them both back in the same, in reverse fashion. And you're going to try and maintain that for the 45 seconds as usual. Same workout format, and we are just going to be doing it one time just to save time. So, you're going to get started here with full body extensions for 45 seconds. Full body extensions, you're going to reach just below your kneecaps, and come up, and you're going to reach up above you, elevating those shoulders. Like that, we're going to alternate that, starting in 3, 2, 1. Just below the kneecaps, push through the ground with your hamstrings and your glutes, getting all that clickiness out of your knees, warming up those hips in the back, as well as your shoulders as you elevate them into the air. I do this one every time before I deadlift. Carries right over. It's nice to just gently increase that range of motion before we get to doing movements with it. Alright, 15 seconds left on that. I'll explain the next one, which is going to be band twist. So, have your arms out in front of you, reach out to the side, step that foot back, squat down a little bit, making sure that knee travels over our foot, come back over, twist out to the other side, do the same thing. We're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. Twisting our upper body, keeping our hips relatively forward, to get that rotational movement of our core in there. Just trying to get that activated. And actually, we got 30 seconds left on that. I'm going to go open this door over here because it's kind of musty in this here basement. It's much better. Got more light now too. Pretty cool. Anyway, 15 seconds left. I'll explain the next one, which is going to be hacky sack. So, hacky sack. You're going to have hands out here. You're going to bring that heel up, curling it up with the inside of your leg, to touch the heel on either side, making almost like a windmill motion. We're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. This one really warms up the inside of my hips here. I enjoy this one because usually I have a pretty limited range of motion of my hips. So this is a good one to get everything all nice and loose. And we got 20 seconds left on that. The next one is going to be behind hacky sacks, which is the same thing, except we're curling our leg up in the back with the back of our legs here, our hamstrings, on either side. Again, making that windmill motion. Start that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Making that windmill motion. Bringing our shoulders down and our feet up on either side. Alright. And you got 20 seconds left on that. I'll explain the next one, which is going to be uppercut. So, with our hips facing forward the whole time, we're going to twist our shoulders out, and uppercut out to one side, uppercut out to the other side. Get a little bit of a sway movement in there, feeling the rotation in our core. We're going to start that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In our athletic stance, which is almost like a half squat, which you can't really see because of these shorts, but we're bent down just a little bit into a position where it felt like if somebody pushed us, we would be able to maintain our balance. Athletic stances carry over to many different things. Actually, all different things. That's why it's called an athletic stance. Got 20 seconds left. I'll explain the next one for you, which is going to be our last one before I give you a 30-second water break. It's a new one here. It's going to be fast feet with high knees. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 seconds of fast feet. Come in, do 2 high knees, 1 high knee on either side, and then 3 more seconds of that. And I'll tell you when that is. So we're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, high knees. 1, 2, 3, high knees. You can get a little hop in the high knees if you like, to get a little more explosiveness out of your calves and your ankles. Really warm things up there. 2, 3. We got 15 seconds left of that. Staying on our toes. And in 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, take 30 seconds of water there. I'll explain the workout, which today is going to be 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off as usual. Our first exercise here is going to be hamstring jack. So hamstring jack, top portion, just like a jumping jack up here, waving our arms up and down, keeping our shoulders nice and down while we do so. We'll be curling that heel up behind us. Get a nice little bounce in there if we like. We're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. Hopefully all of you are done with your water there, all of you doing this with me. All right. This one, making sure to try and kick your butt with your heels there. Feeling it in your shoulder as you wave your arms up and down. Got 25 seconds left of that. And then we will go into 15 seconds of high knees. Really feeling it in those shoulders as you're doing this, and the back of your legs there. So 3, 2, 1. We're just on the high knee marches here. You'll do that for 15 seconds. I'll explain the next one, which is going to be squat windmills. So squat windmills, taking your squat stance at about shoulder width or a little bit wider. You're gonna squat down, making sure those knees travel over your toes. You're gonna have your arms out to the side, making yourself into almost a windmill touching the ground. We're gonna start that in 3, 2, 1. Squatting down and pressing ourselves up with the tops of our knees and our glutes, rotating our upper body to touch the ground here. You got 20 seconds left of that. Then we'll be back to high knees. All right, and in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're back to high knee marches. I'll explain the next one, which is going to be our new one today, which is power lunges. So half the time on one side, half the time on the other. Going to bring that knee up high in the front, come back, lunge down, do it again. I'm halfway through, I'm going to tell you to switch. We're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. Pull that knee up high, stick it back, squat down, same thing. And in 3, 2, 1, switch sides. All right, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're back to high knee marches. I'll explain the next one, which is going to be Jack and Jills. Jack and Jills, bottom portion looking just like a jumping jack, or we're stepping out, whatever we like. And we're going to be making an upside down T with our hands here, just like that. Jack, Jill. That helped. Side one is the jack. So we're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. You're either jumping or we're stepping out here, whichever we like. We got 25 seconds left of this. Then we'll be back to high knee marches. If we're jumping, staying on our toes the whole time. We're stepping out, trying to put some of the weight on our outer foot there. as well as our midfoot. And in 4, 3, 2, 1, we're back to high knee marches. I'll explain the next one, which is going to be choppers. So choppers, you're going to have your hands together, bring it up like you're chopping something out of the air, bring it down, bring it up on the other side. You're going to swing as forcefully as you can, making almost like a figure 8. We're going to start that in 3, 2, 1, keeping your hips forward and your hips forward and your shoulders rotated. So imagine like logs are flying at you from everywhere and you're trying to chop them out of the air with this, well, relatively weirdly shaped axe, if I will admit. This is a good one for the rotational abilities of the core, feeling it in the sides here. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back to high knee marches. I'll explain the next one, which is going to be downward dog walkouts. Done this before. Starting from a position where we have room in front of us, we are going to reach down, go into a plank position, hold it there for half a second, move ourselves back up like that, and then we're going to do it again. We're going to start that in 3, 2, 1, going down into our plank position, holding it there, coming back up. You can't get a lot of these in the allotted 45 seconds, so just try and get as many as you can, relatively focusing on form the most. We got 10 seconds, and then we'll be moving into our ground portion with these 15 seconds. So in 4, 3, 2, 1. Take this time to get yourself laid down on the ground on our backs. I'll show you the next one, which is going to be our lateral dead bug, shown to me by Mr. John T. Freddy. So we're going to have our legs and our arms in the air, and while we move one arm out, or I'll move this one, move one arm out, we're going to move the opposite leg out, like that, which you can't really see. I'll move this down, just like that, and then we're going to alternate which leg goes down and which arm goes down. We're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. Need to figure out a better way to explain that. I used up a lot of time. Really focusing on lowering with the insides of our legs here, keeping it nice and controlled. This is not a plane of motion we use very often, so it's a little tricky to get down at first, but that's all right. We're going to stop it in 3, 2, 1. Staying on the ground now. I'm going to have our feet as pushed into the air as we like, our arms out to the side for balance, and we're going to move them from side to side, pulling with the side of our body with our core to move them back to the other side. And we're going to start that in 3, 2, 1. Pulling them with our core to really get that rotational movement in there before we switch to being on our hands and knees in 15 seconds. So in 3, 2, 1, take these 15 seconds to move yourself on your hands and knees. We're going to be doing our new exercise today, which is going to be plank step out. So getting in a high plank position, we're going to hold it, and then we're going to move one foot out, move the other foot out, and then move them both back in. We're going to maintain that for the 45 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. As always, with any plank movement, we can go down onto our knees here. We can hold it like that, or we can just hold the plank position, whatever we want to do. But for those of us that don't feel like they're getting enough out of holding those planks, we're going to do this, get a little bit of hip movement in there. So we got 15 seconds left of this, and then we'll be on to our last exercise. We're going to finish it off with angels here
on our knees, which hopefully I'm going to get right. I'm notorious for teaching the wrong ones, as John knows. So in 3, 2, 1, staying on our hands and knees now, we are going to put that hand out with our thumb facing the sky. We're going to bring it all the way to the small of our back, and then keeping it in the air, we're going to bring it back. We're going to do that for half the time on one side, half the time on the other, starting in 3, 2, 1. Keeping our shoulder and our scapula flexed the whole time. You can flip that hand over, of course, when you move it to your lower back. So in 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Still keeping that shoulder nice and flexed as well as that scapula. So in 10 seconds, we'll be moving on to our cool down. Almost done. So in 3, 2, 1, on our hands, on our knees now, we're going to be doing archer's pose for our first cool down. So, taking our opposite hand, we are going to reach it back, open up our spine there, and then with our hands close to our body the whole time, we're going to bring it back forward. Half the time on one side, 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. Right, and in 4, 3, 2, 1, switch which leg is up, switch which arm goes out. 30 seconds on this side. This one's nice for, shown to me by Cody Davis during our collab workout together. It was very fun. He showed me these ones, which are nice for opening up our spine right after a workout. Sometimes our spine gets rigid from all the holding that we do in our lives. This is a nice one to get the rotational movement in there. So in 3, 2, 1, we're going to be moving on to pigeon pose now. Again, 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. Sticking one leg back, bringing this leg in close. We're just going to reach down with our nice flat back as close as we can to that leg, supporting ourselves with our arms. Just like that in 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds on this side, 30 seconds on the other. You should feel this stretch almost on the part that's touching the ground. That's what it feels like anyway. We're stretching out our glutes here. So in 4, 3, 2, 1, switching sides. Then after 30 seconds of this, we're going to go into a 45 seconds child's pose, and then we're going to finish it off with 45 seconds of cobra. Alright, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking a pose on our hands and knees now. We're going to have our legs a little bit wider than our shoulders. We're going to sit ourselves back as far as we can into that position. If you like, you can also move your legs closer so you can sit down and really stretch out that back by reaching forward. I like to do that one too. This one's good for the hips, the wide-legged one. Close-legged one's good for the back. You can rock yourself in and out of it if you like. 15 seconds, and then we'll move on to cobra as our finisher for today. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, leaning ourselves forward, pressing our hips to the ground, pulling our chest up. We are flexing our back into a position that you would almost see a snake do. Really flexing that back, stretching out our abs. Now 45 seconds of this, and then we'll be done for today. Seconds. All right, so in 4, 3, 2, 1, we are all set here. I thought it was a pretty good workout. I like the new exercises. The plank step outs might be a little hard to maintain for 45 seconds for most people. Power lunges were good though. I like those. As an overall workout, I thought it was maybe a little too hard. But that's fine because I can still use the exercises that I got from it today. So, with that, thank you for watching again. And, yeah. See you later.